that sold me something on eBay that said, hey, it was a handwritten note from a 12-year-old, that said, thank you very much for your purchase. We appreciate it. And it reminded me of when I was 10 years old, except I didn't have eBay and didn't have all these options to buy singles online. So it was refreshing. So it just shows you kind of all generations.
The hobby's exploding and the happiness is absurd. Dustin, get in here. Let's tell, Dustin, Dustin, how much happiness has getting into collecting Pokemon and flipping Pokemon been for you?
Hey, sports card collectors and investors, collectibles investors out there, thank you very much for joining me today. I'm excited to come to you with another episode. If you are new to the channel, we have about 175, almost 180 videos on collectibles investing, a lot of sports cards, a lot of comic books, video games, rare video games and things like that, that I like to cover. I'm big into collectibles investing as well as just overall personal finance topics and how it all trends together. So today I'm excited because I was watching a couple of YouTubers that I follow. I think they provide some really good information and they're just entertaining to watch. And they are Stephan and Andre Jick, I think is the way you say his last name. I'm sorry if I butcher that. But both of these guys are very entertaining YouTubers and they work within that personal finance space. And so Andre, it was yesterday or the day before, I was watching his channel and he interviewed Stephan. And to give you kind of a little bit of a background on Stephan, he is a Los Angeles real estate agent. He had a lot of success working in real estate and then kind of turned to YouTube in 2017, I believe, and built a huge following. He's got maybe 2.3 million followers. And Andre probably has 700,000 or 800,000 followers, I believe. So these guys have large channels. So it was kind of cool to see them collaborating and talking with each other. Graham is kind of known for being frugal. He is a kind of that, and Andre was interviewing him as the guy, like the cheap millionaire, because essentially he's just kind of talks about to be more of a minimalist and really think about kind of where you're putting your money, not wasting your money, etc. So these guys both very highly entertaining, and I'm just watching this interview, and the thing that jumped out at me was right at about the 17-minute mark, and I will play a clip just to show you what I saw, but Andre asks Graham, hey, have you ever gotten into Pokemon cards or Pokemon or anything like that? And Graham was like, yeah, I have gotten into it. And he's like, do you happen to have any of them, still? And he's like, yeah, and he pulls out his collection. He's got a binder and I'm not a Pokemon card expert, but they look to be fairly rare cards, Pokemon cards. They look to be some, hollows and different things. So, but they're kind of going through and just talking about it. And you can tell that there is that nostalgic element, to it. You could tell that they mean something to Graham on a sentimental level. I mean, obviously, financially they're probably worth something, but you could tell that wasn't really the basis of it. He even said that when he pulled one of the cards out of a pack when he was a kid at 10 years old, and the guy at the shop asked him if he could buy it for $50 or $60 and he turned it down. So you can tell that there is sentimental value behind the cards. And then Andre goes on to ask, he says, hey, while we're on the topic of alternative investments, would you consider alternative investments? Graham says yes. And he says, and I'm quoting here, he says, out of all the alternative investments, what would be, the one that you would go for today? That's essentially what he asks him. What would you kind of jump into if you were getting in now? And Graham says, probably sports memorabilia first, but I don't know much about it, so I would say watches. And Graham, in past videos, he does know a lot about watches, rare watches. We're talking about Rolexes and expensive watches.
Did you ever play Yu-Gi-Oh or Pokemon when you were a kid?
I collected Pokemon cards.
Oh, I collected them too. Do you still have any?
Yes.
You do?
I do.
Can you show us?
Yeah.
actually. So I used to also be into Magic the Gathering. Check
You're
this
gonna
out.
get so many more
bet,
subscribers just from this.
I bet you've never seen that in person before.
I have, and I love
Mew
that card.
on Lily Pad.
I love that card.
You've
I
seen
don't
it
have
in
it.
person?
I've seen it in person.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't know how nerd I am about Pokemon. This is a legit card.
Yeah.
This is legit.
Remember Pokemon the movie?
Dude, that's
So I have
awesome.
all of these.
I have this one.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that was.
When I was a kid,
Yeah.
this card specifically, the Mew.
Yeah.
I remember walking to a mall with my mom.
Yeah.
I showed them this before anybody knew what the 151st Pokemon even was back then. And they offered me like 3 Charizards for it, like from the stores. This was back when Charizard was like, there's no way you could get one.
Right. Yeah. So I opened this up in a pack.
You opened that in a pack?
In the store, and the dude offered me like $60 to buy this card.
Oh my
And I don't know how old I was, like 10 or something like so. $50 is
And you were
like a
like,
lot
no.
of, and I didn't sell it.
That's
And I
amazing.
still have it today. So.
Okay, so you would consider some alternative investment.
Yeah.
Out of all the alternative investments, like investing in other people's YouTube channels, crypto, what would be your like #1 thing that you would consider first?
Probably sports memorabilia would be the first, but I don't know much about it, so I would say probably watches.
Okay, watches,
Yeah,
all right. Yeah,
watches.
because you got the El Primero.
The one thing that's finally like I wish I could have gotten in this is the yellow gold Rolexes.
You know, so, but I thought it was really interesting that he touched on sports memorabilia, and sports cards fall within sports memorabilia when he's talking about that. So even though he doesn't know much about it, you can see that he hears it trending, and it's something that is being talked about within his circle. So I thought that was wild for me to see, because yeah, you know, I've seen the Giannis posts and the LeBron posts about having their own cards. Mark Wahlberg just posted about, you know, his kids starting a sports card business, you know, and them getting, boxes, you know, so it's certainly trending, it's buzzworthy, but then, you know, here's just more evidence of it here with some of the largest YouTubers that are in that, you know, personal finance space. So I thought it was really interesting, and it's like, man, word travels fast on social media. You know, it's like it seems to be really getting around. It's not a small, you know, tiny little hobby anymore. It's certainly on the main, you know, it's as far as, you know, the celebrities and the athletes, you know, and you know, personal finance YouTubers, this alternative investment is gaining traction. It's being talked about more and more and more. So I just thought it was really interesting to see that. I wasn't expecting that, because it's not something that I've seen on Graham's channel before. I mean, he talks about all things personal finance, but never heard him address sports cards or sports memorabilia before. Maybe it was in prior videos and I just didn't see it, but thought that was really interesting. So I wanted to share it with you all. This is just kind of a quick video that I wanted to put in front of you, that I thought was really, really interesting. What do you guys think? Have you heard about any other, you know, YouTubers that you follow that maybe, you know, aren't in the mainstream? Have there been any other of these types of posts or conversations that you've seen online? I would like to hear them. If you know, have access, if you you know, have seen that, please share it. I mean, we know about, you know, the Gary V's and you know, a lot of those folks, but I would like to hear back, you know, if there's any of these other people that you're following that maybe surprise you that they are, you know, talking sports cards. I would love to know about it. That stuff really interests me. So guys, thank you very much for tuning in. Like I said, if you have not subscribed yet, we have almost 180 videos now. We're making daily content on all things collectibles investing, personal finance, sports card investing, etc. So thank you again for tuning in, and we will talk to you again soon. Thanks, guys.